Have you ever wondered why you keep repeating the same mistakes, even after you've promised yourself you've changed? Why you sabotage your own peace or chase validation from people who never seem to see you? You think you're choosing freely, but maybe, just maybe, you're running a program. A quiet code written into you by years of conditioning, culture, trauma, and imitation. And if that's true, then the question isn't who are you, it's who programmed you. Today, we're diving into the hidden architecture of your mind and how neuro-linguistic programming, philosophy, and ancient psychology all point to one unsettling truth. You are not as free as you think. Part 1. The unseen code beneath consciousness. Your mind is a machine built from memories. Every word you've heard, every image you've absorbed, every reaction you've repeated. It's all been stored. Plato once said that the soul is like a charioteer steering between reason and desire. But what if the charioteer has been blindfolded? What if every decision you make is quietly shaped by unseen hands? Parents, teachers, culture, algorithms, and fears you no longer recognize. This is where Neuro-Linguistic Programming, NLP, begins. Not as a trick, not as pseudoscience, but as a lens. It teaches that your neuro, the wiring of your senses, your linguistics, the language you use to describe the world, and your programming, the habits you've repeated so often they've become identity, are not fixed. They can be rewritten. But before you can rewrite, you must see the code. Part 2. The Illusion of Choice. Friedrich Nietzsche warned that most people mistake obedience for freedom. You wake up, scroll through your phone, compare yourself to others, complain about feeling lost, and call it free will. But freedom without awareness is just another form of control. You speak the language the world taught you. You chase the goals it praised. You fear the rejection it threatened. You've been anchored, not to truth, but to conditioning. And the deeper tragedy, you've become fluent in your own self-deception. In NLP, this is called a state loop, when the mind keeps running the same emotional pattern over and over, like a scratched record. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, I'll forgive them someday, I'll be confident when I succeed. But the loop never ends, because the mind loves the comfort of the known, even if the known is misery. Part 3. The Mirror and the Mask. The ancient Stoics believed that perception is everything. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." NLP calls this the reframing pattern, the power to shift the meaning of any experience simply by changing the lens you look through. You were rejected? Maybe it wasn't proof of your unworthiness. Maybe it was protection. You failed? Maybe that was feedback, not fate. The event doesn't define you, the frame does. But here's the uncomfortable truth. We rarely control our frames. Our language, the metaphors we use, shape them for us. Say I'm broken, and your brain seeks cracks. Say I'm rebuilding, and your mind searches for strength. Your words are the tools of your neurology. Language isn't just how we describe reality, it's how we construct it. Part 4. How the mind spins emotion. Think of a moment of anxiety. Feel where it lives in your body. Maybe it sits heavy in your stomach or rushes through your chest. Now imagine that feeling spinning, clockwise or counterclockwise. In NLP, this is called the spinning feelings pattern, and here's the wild part. If you reverse the direction of that imagined spin, your emotional state changes instantly. Sounds absurd, right? Yet the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and experience. It only knows input. Philosophers like Bonhoeffer and Kierkegaard spoke about the inner battle between the spirit and the self. How awareness must interrupt the automatic. That's all this is. The art of the interrupt. Every time you change a pattern of thought, every time you question a belief you inherited, you perform a sacred act of rebellion against your programming. Part 5. Anchors, Shadows, and the Power of Intention. We are all anchored to smells, songs, gestures, tones. A scent can trigger childhood joy. A phrase can awaken buried shame. Anchors are the brain's shortcuts. But what if you could anchor yourself intentionally to strength, to calm, to clarity? Imagine this. Each time you feel truly alive, while running, laughing, or creating, press your thumb and middle finger together. Repeat it enough times, and soon that small gesture will recall the state of power you built. This is self-anchoring, the top NLP technique, because it puts agency back in your hands. You become your own trigger, your own reminder that peace is a choice, not a reward. And this ties into Jung's idea of the shadow. The parts of us we deny or suppress end up controlling us. When you anchor yourself to awareness instead of avoidance, you bring light into the places you used to fear. You stop reacting and start responding. Part 6. The Collapse of Fear. There's a technique in NLP called collapsing anchors, where you take a limiting emotion, like fear, and flood it with a powerful one, like laughter or confidence, until the two merge and neutralize. But this is more than psychology. It's philosophy in motion. Think of Machiavelli, who argued that fear and love are the two levers of human behavior. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. This is only part 1 for NLP on Awaking Grounds.